Hey, welcome. So, pretty much every company out there collects data, right? But here's the thing. Most of them really struggle with turning all those complicated privacy laws into something they can actually do in the real world. It's a huge challenge. So, how do they pull it off? Let's get into it. This right here, this is the big question. It's one thing for a lawyer to read a 1,000-page privacy law, but it's a completely different thing for a company to build systems that follow that law day in and day out. That's a massive operational puzzle. And today, we're going to break down how it actually gets solved. So, to start, let's just take a second to appreciate the sheer scale of this problem. For any company that operates globally, it isn't just one set of rules. No way. It's more like a constantly changing international jigsaw puzzle of regulations. I mean, just look at how data-driven everything is. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. We're not talking about just a few rules here. New privacy laws are popping up all over the world, and each one has its own unique demands. It creates this tangled web that companies have to navigate perfectly, because if they don't, the consequences can be pretty serious.
And this is where it gets real. We've probably all heard of Europe's GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. But then you've got the California Consumer Privacy Act, the CCPA. And India just rolled out its Digital Personal Data Protection Act. And honestly, this is just the tiniest snapshot. Each one has different rules, and companies have to follow all of them.
All this complexity brings us right to the heart of the matter. This massive gap that exists between knowing the rules and actually doing what those rules require. Let's dig into what that really means. Okay, think of it like this. On one side, you have legal theory. That's understanding the text of the law, reading the regulations. But on the other side, you have privacy operations. That's the doing part. It's kind of like this. Legal theory is like owning a really fancy cookbook. But privacy operations, that's actually running the kitchen, making sure great food gets served consistently every single night. So this is what privacy operations, or privacy ops, is all about. It's the practical, roll-up-your-sleeves, hands-on work. It's about building the actual systems, the workflows, and the checklists that turn a really dense legal document into how a company actually behaves every day. So, if the problem is a lack of doing, then the solution probably isn't more theory, right? It's better tools. And that's exactly what the source material here proposes. A practical toolkit. Let's take a look at what's inside. The big idea here is to stop drowning in legal texts and instead focus on a hands-on, template-driven approach. It's all about giving people actionable resources they can use right away, not just another stack of books to read. And here's what that toolkit actually has in it. We're talking about real, tangible things like compliance playbooks that give you step-by-step guidance, incident response plans, so you know exactly what to do when something goes wrong. And my personal favorite, data mapping worksheets, which help you literally see how personal data flows through an entire organization. These are the real nuts and bolts of compliance. So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a job for the lawyers, but what's so fascinating is it's really not. The need for these kinds of operational skills is way, way broader than you'd think. Just look at how wide this audience is. Sure, it's for legal teams and privacy professionals, but notice that huge slice for tech and product teams? They're the ones who are actually building the systems that handle the data. Startups need this stuff to build a solid foundation from day one. And because privacy is such a booming field, it's even crucial for people looking to switch careers. And here's the best part: accessibility. This whole approach is designed so that you don't need any prior legal experience. Nope. All you need is some curiosity and a willingness to just roll up your sleeves and work with these tools. It's really about empowering people to be builders, not just readers of rules. So this brings us to the final, and I think the most powerful idea of all. We've seen the problem, that complex puzzle of laws. We've seen the solution, a practical toolkit. Now let's look at the philosophy that really ties it all together. And really, it all boils down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Move from privacy theory to privacy action. It sounds easy, but that little phrase represents a huge shift in how we need to think about one of the biggest challenges of our digital world.
The ultimate takeaway here is this shift in mindset. The goal isn't just to learn the rules. The real goal is to build the robust, living systems inside an organization that follow those rules automatically, every single day, without fail.
And that leaves us with one last question to think about. I mean, in any complex field, whether it's privacy or finance or medicine, is just knowing the rules ever really enough? Thanks for tuning in.